It's because the universe requires that that idea have space on this planet. But here's the ugly truth is you're not the only chosen one. You want to be able to open up to creativity. Being able to slow down, quiet the mind, stop that hamster wheel of thoughts that continue to regurgitate the same thinking over and over again. Because we think 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And out of those 60 to 70,000 thoughts that we think in one day, 80%, 90% are the same thoughts as those that we thought the day before. Actually, it's something like 95%. I like to go conservative. 80% of those thoughts are negative. So what we want to do is quiet the mind, quiet those thoughts so we can open up to something new. Why do people keep creating the same old, same old? It's because they're stuck in the same thoughts. So we want to quiet the mind and open up. And what happens when we're open is that we get downloaded with ideas. And I'm not even going to talk about taking action. I'm going to talk briefly. I always say I'm not going to do something that I do it. It's because I want to do it. But that's a whole other lecture. But we have to take action on it. Here's why. When you get downloaded with a new idea, guess what? It's because the universe requires that that idea have space on this planet. That idea was implanted because it needs to be created in form. And you were a chosen one to bring that into the form. But here's the ugly truth is you're not the only chosen one. How many times have you come up with an incredible idea? You didn't act on it. 5, 10 years later, someone else came up with that same idea and they made millions of dollars because of it. Why? Because the requirement is that it comes into form. You were gifted with the idea. You were challenged with the idea. You said, no, that's okay. The universe is like, all right, let me go over here. So it's going to implant those ideas on a lot of people. I've heard and seen even so much where a book idea, you have two people in different parts of the world writing the exact same book. And one thinks they plagiarized the other or been plagiarized by the other. But the fact is there's no plagiarism. The universe wanted that book out. So it downloaded that book and happened to be two people who decided to write. So wonderful. They worked it out. It was beautiful. It was a story that given by Elizabeth Gilbert, the author of Eat, Pray, Love. And she shared a great TED talk on the elusive creative genius, which I suggest you listen to. I don't think she shared that story there, but so act on it. Anyway, that was a little side bonus. But getting quiet allows that download, and then playing. It's important to step out of your daily routine. It's absolutely important to step out of your daily routine because your daily routine puts you in this mindset of automatic pilot. You want to be able to open up to creativity. And so playing allows you to do that. Thomas Edison, we all know, invented the light bulb, and he had, gone through, 10,000 iterations of this. And other people were working on the light bulb at the same time. I don't know if people knew that. But what happened is the filament inside the light bulb, there was nothing that was long enough to be practical or safe enough to be useful. And so he went fishing one day. And while fishing, he was noticing the bamboo filament on his fishing pole. And that's where he got the idea of trying the bamboo filament, and that created a light bulb. So we want to go out, break our routine, have fun, play. I heard a CEO of a Fortune 100 or 50 company say, he was talking about his accomplishments that he accomplished in the last year, which is massive. And he said, I did everything that I did in 10 months. I could not have done that in 12 months. What does that mean? He needed that time off. Had he worked 12 months, he would have been running off of stress and cortisol and grinding and focus and all this stuff. So he decided he needed to step out and do something new, do something different. So that playful exploration is required to foster that creativity, and there's so many ideas, we can go into a million ideas of drawing, painting, doodling, writing, journaling, going out into nature, clay, pottery, building things. I see people who are doing woodwork and they're so like in the zone, and that in itself is very meditative, and opens up that creative portal for them. So what that does is allows them to not only connect with the source of inspiration, which is the universe, the source of it all, but also the means by which we could accomplish that, by which we could achieve or get that thing or magnetize that thing that we desire.